coming. You know, in Chinese tradition, the first week after the first day of the lunar year, it's called the Spring Festival. So officially, we're still in the Spring Festival. We are allowed to celebrate the Chinese New Year. Am I right, Judy? Right? And very fortunate that we have Councillor Shirley Carroll and you know, so many friends being here with us today. Remember, yes, the Spring Festival is my motion, which has been recognized by the Canadian government as a part of our Heritage Day. Thank you very much. And also, you know, in Canada, this is an immigrant country, so we welcome people from so many cultures from everywhere in the world to come to this great country to live and to have a family. And at the same time, we invite people to bring in the best, the most important, the most elegant part of their tradition to come to Canada, so they can share those traditions with other people to improve, you know, increase this harmony between the people and understanding before people. And this is what multiculturalism is about, and also we know that diversity is our biggest strength in Canada. So once again, thank you very much for coming to celebrate this Spring Festival. And also, you know, thank you all, each and every one of you, for your great participation, for your great support for this past 3.5 years. The support of me, supported my team, my office, and even supported my good friend Bernard, who's my Ottawa assistant. You know, working far away, 500 miles or 500 kilometers away from here. But I know some of you are connected with him on many issues by email, by mails. Also, I want to take this opportunity to thank my family, my wife, for their continued support. My sons here, it grows on, and after 4 years, so he comes out to help me in MC or in many events. And but particularly, I want to take this opportunity to thank my team. They have been doing a great job, and I want to thank Janet, thank Bernard in Ottawa, Sarah, and Kelly, and also my former colleagues, Margaret, Joey, and Cole, and they have left the office to pursue their personal interests. But no matter the current one, previous one, I really thank them and appreciate their support and their service. With their support, our office is among the top 3, if not the top 2, top 3 offices that have served the most constituents nationwide. This is a great achievement. I really, thank my team that we work together and make this team very reliable and workable, and build up this great connection with the local constituents. And today we have used the opportunity to have this small function in the writing office. So for some of you who never got a chance to know me or to know my team, this is a good chance to connect with us. Where my office is, who we are, what kind of language we're talking about. So just join us. This year is going to be we're federal, right? So this year is going to be a big year for us. Federally, we're going to have a general election later this year. And I want to thank you. I know most people are our either supporters or even volunteers. Thank you for your support and for your effort in encouraging the local constituents to come up to vote, to support, to elect a government that can better serve the Canadians and lead this country, running toward the right direction. So thank you very much, and I know I can still, the party also, the right government will still, can still count on your support. Today we have prepared some, right now just finger food. Don't get them confused, right? This is just finger food for you to warm up, okay? We're gonna provide you with some very nice Chinese food. It's pretty authentic, but of course we're in Canada, we call it Chinese style Canadian food or Canadian style Chinese, whatever you want to call it. So, so to try that, I can guarantee that the food must be very delicious and organized by a team led by my wife Laura, and they choose the best food. So again, thank you very much. Have fun, relax. So next is my honor and my pleasure to introduce Shirley Carroll, the counselor for this riding. We had some and organized some functions before, and I know Shirley very well now. She's a great city councilor and to serve the local people in Down Valley North for the past 18 years, even expanding by the riding, by the boundary of the riding stretch to Willow and the part of right now it's called Down Valley East. Used to be big area, under the leadership of Shirley Carroll. So she has been great counselor, and she knows people, and she cares about people, and probably she knows more people than me in this riding. She bring in great money and big funding for the people of Down Valley North to increase the standard of their living, and she used to be a very excellent provincial candidate, but right now she's doing city councilor. So we can say that we have no doubt that in the future Shirley Carroll will become more high profile and more responsibility for her. Right now we have a big riding, so she has already took like 2 ridings, right? Yeah. 2 ridings, the previous 2 ridings with a big team. So I'm sure from time to time I will go to her looking for advice and for help and for cooperations. So without further ado, I've spoken too much. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome City Councilor Shirley Carroll.
Thank you again. Well, so I'm going to break the rules a bit. I'm going to break the rules for Gang because I know that that's what happened down south in Don Valley, down in Don Valley East. Michael Cotto read the rules a little bit to make sure that people talked about how important an election year is for Don Valley East MP Yasmin Ratanzi. So I might break the rules and be a little political for a moment for our MP, Gang Tan. It is an important year. And one thing that we know in an election year, when someone has served you so well, when they have won an award, when you get to third most constituents served in one first-term riding anywhere in Canada, maybe second place, people say, "Oh, he's great. He's got it in the bag. He's served everyone. He'll be fine." Our representatives are never fine unless we come out for them in election year and pay them back for all the service that we've had for 4 years. You can't stay home and say, "Gang will be fine. He's got a great team of staff people and the staff people will take care of everything." Residents have to help too. Citizens have to help too. This is where we all get involved. And so 2019 is gonna be a time when we're calling out and saying, "Hey everybody, it's time for us to all get together and make sure that we continue to have the service we get from Gang." So better listen when the phone rings and say, "Well, I better pick it up. I better not screen that phone call out. I better pick it up. They may need my help now. It may be campaign time." And there are 1,000,001 ways to help at every age and wherever you are in Don Valley North. There's always a little something that needs to be done. My team will be coming out to help, so we hope to see you there too. In the meantime, we're getting used to Don Valley North as a municipal ward too. It's now all one big place, and it's tricky for us when we are over on this side of the ward and we take care of something here and we put it in the newsletter, the feedback we get is, oh, you care more about the people that you've represented for a long time. And so the next week we go over and we talk about something in Bayview Village. And then we get the feedback, oh, you're just fussing over those new people. We want everybody in Don Valley North to feel like they're part of a big whole. That's why we work together. That's why we do events together. It's why when there's news, if it's on the very edge in Victoria Park, we've got a big development down by the 401 that really needs to be fought at this point, because it really doesn't look like it's going to be a good situation unless we improve on it, unless we can negotiate something a little better there that works better for traffic. That matters to everybody all the way over to Bayview. What happens at Bayview Village Mall will set a precedent for all of Don Valley North and even all of the city. So if you've heard about the proposal that's going on there, it matters to all of us. And so when we start to talk about the things going on anywhere in Don Valley North, how they affect our quality of life, how they affect how we move around Don Valley North and get around the city, I'm really talking about everyone, no matter what street I'm talking about. When we're talking about events of importance at all levels of government, if I'm talking about the conversations that we're having with the federal government right now to fund the things that we need to fund together, I know that I have a willing partner in Gang. I know that when we're talking about, we call it PTIF, but most people go, what's that? Public Transit Infrastructure Fund. How we move people all over Canada is being worked out directly between the federal government and cities. Because cities is where you build the stuff and make it work. We have been able to, no matter what is the situation provincially, no matter how difficult that conversation is in Ontario right now, we don't know what that man's plans are, but we know that in the City of Toronto, we can figure out infrastructure, particularly with respect to transportation and housing. We can go straight to the federal government. A city as important as Toronto has a place at their table. We have direct conversations with them. That's possible because of the government that Gang represents. It's not possible whenever we have a federal government. The government that Gang represents is making that possible, respects that relationship. That's why I'm going to be coming out in 2019. That's why I'm going to be knocking on doors.